Ah, yes, Ready or Not, the game based on tactics and your moral compass. Yeah, let's cut the crap. So for the facts, tips, and details that can help you improve or even enhance your experience in Ready or Not. We start from things you've seen and probably know about, to things that you totally missed because of too much adrenaline release during your time playing. So stay throughout the video, or just use the progress bar, I don't know. And anyways, I ain't gonna waste much time now.
Entry team, there may be one or multiple active shooters on site. Move quickly and clear the area.
Good to go. Cover your ears, boys. Raining explosive.
Unlike other games, everything almost in Ready or Not counts as an entity. In most games, there are only some animations that are played for you and only you, but don't actually happen in the game. Unlike in Ready or Not, where almost everything is actually an object in the game, like the bullets, the bullet casings, the shrapnels, even the coffee cups. The armor actually only covers the place it's placed on. Unlike a lot of games where, for example, your chest rig protects your arms and limbs too, in Ready or Not, the armor actually only covers the area they're worn on. That being said, for example, your face has a different hitbox than your head, so a bullet that hits your face is not obviously deflected by your helmet. Flashbangs actually are less effective in open areas and more effective in close quarters. A lot of flashbangs are meant only for distraction, and flashbangs in open areas, especially with sunlight, have a smaller chance of stunning someone rather than in close quarters. Non-lethal weapons are not always non-lethal. Sometimes if you hit a suspect with a beanbag in the head, for example, they actually get a head trauma and meet their demise. Same goes with pepperball launchers, who even uses these, as they might make a suspect start to bleed and even make them faint after too many shots. Tasers do fail to deploy or even disorient a suspect. This is actually a case with tasers in real life too. Sometimes they're not very effective against suspects, so no, it's not a bug probably, and that's why it has been in the game for such a long time. Pepper spray makes the suspects more aggressive and makes them shoot pointlessly too, as the effect of the spray kicks in. Hollow point bullets do a lot more damage if you hit a suspect in the center area and have a higher chance of piercing armor as well. You can see the name of the fallen officers during the campaign in this room called Memoriam, so always pay your respect and make sure to watch out for your officers. Speaking of officers, if your officers are in distress and you go to a mission with them, they have a much lower performance and have a higher chance to die. So watch out for them and send them to therapy sometimes.
Self-care is important. Watch your stress levels and know when to stop and take a breath.
Suspects can be more psychologically resistant depending on their role. For example, gas station robbers are more likely to surrender than active shooters, obviously. Watch out for suspects with automatic weapons. A lot of times they start to blind fire behind covers, making them harder to hit and your squad more vulnerable, though this can be also used against them. While shooting point blank, you might notice that the bullets hit lower than where the sights are pointed at. That is called height over bore, and it happens because optics are placed a little higher than the barrel, and in close ranges, bullets hit a bit lower. That's why some optics are down tilted a little. You can actually intimidate the suspects by firing in full auto. Even though it's unlikely, no one likes to be under a rain of lead and copper, not even the AI suspects. Buckshot rounds for shotguns are actually lethal in long ranges as well. While in other video games, shotgun pellets are as useful as tennis balls in long ranges, in Ready or Not, they are still lethal to a 25 to 30 meter radius, just like in real life, because buckshot is used for hunting medium to big games, meant for low to medium ranges. The ceramic plates are the easiest ones to break, but they also give you the most amount of blunt force protection after getting shot. Talking about blunt force, a lot of times you won't die because of direct penetration or bleeding, but rather the blunt force trauma, usually in the headshots to the helmet. Suspects or civilians that have been injured for too long might get neutralized. Let that be a reminder to be a bit quicker in missions. Metal plate armors are pretty solid. Beside the weight, the only real issue they have are shrapnels. That's not only damage you, but sometimes your teammates too if they're standing too close. The ballistic mask has a lower protection level, and it is mostly for pistol calibers and shrapnel protection. Same goes with all of the helmets, as they're not as protective as they sound, and getting headshots with bigger calibers is still lethal. Suspects mimic civilians sometimes. They might dress as them, or even call out for help just to ambush you.
I need help! Can anyone hear me?
Pepper spray can actually have after effects and make the suspects have worse aims, and even after getting sprayed. Suspects can actually spot your lasers, unless it's IR laser, or your flashlight. CS gas launchers cover a way bigger area compared to normal gas grenades, but they will last lower for a few seconds. Wearing protective goggles reduces flashbang rays as well as your muzzle flash, so you're less likely to flash yourself. Wait a second, that sounded so wrong, what the fuck? The stab armor, aka the stab vest, doesn't even stop stabs, so it's kind of useless. Ballistic shields have shrapnels flying around after absorbing the shots, so your teammates might absorb some damage if they're standing too close to the shield. Suspects run out of ammo and will surrender afterwards, which is pretty cool if you ask me. You can see the evidences that are collected during missions in the evidence locker and actually see how they trace to other missions. Ready or Not lore is really interesting, you should really get into it. The suspects also see less in the dark and have worse aims in it as well. You can use this to your advantage. Suspects with custom ARs and guns that have optics actually have better aim than suspects with lower tier weapons, such as suspects that are wielding double barrel shotguns or revolvers. The LVPO is the most accurate scope in the game, with the least amount of height over bore in ranges, though it's stuck in 4x zoom for some reason and it kind of ruins it. Suspects might surrender if you sneak up on them from behind. Oh yeah, before I forget, after some quick tests, here are some caliber ballistics, you might need them. So yeah, if you've stayed all the way up to here, this will be probably the most useful part of this video. So here we go. For velocity and armor penetration, the 5.56 and the 4.6 are the most clean. For tissue damage and neutralizing suspects, the 45 ACP and the 300 blackout are body droppers. For vitals and one taps, the 7.62x39 and the 12 gauge buckshot is probably what you're gonna rock. And lastly, if you want to maul everything that's standing in front of you, just get the 308. And lastly, did you know by pressing that subscribe button, yes, that one, exactly, you will somehow gain 200% more tactical knowledge? Okay, somehow, don't ask me how about it. And also, this isn't quite a fact, it's more of a mandatory order, so you know, maybe press it or something, it's up to you, and support my work. And yeah, I think that's about it.